Hello, winners, and welcome to Two for the Win with your hosts, Nick and Wil. We have a special guest and treat today. We're going to talk about a particular, not just destination, a country. And we have a special guest who is going to shine the light on some great things to do in that country. Which country? You have to keep listening to find out. But before we introduce our special guest, please be sure to subscribe, share, and follow Two for the Win on your favorite platform. I want to give a shout out to Nick Menard and Associates with Dream Vacations for sponsoring today's episode. Thank you, Nick.
You're welcome. Hello, Wil. Hello, winners.
Hello. All right, my friend. Do you want to have the honors of introducing our special guest?
Absolutely. Well, it's my bad. Juliana Rueda is our guest today, and she's a friend of mine for years. We worked together for years now as well. And I never thought of her as a guest, well, knowing that she's from Colombia. So this is the country we're going to talk about. She goes in Colombia at least once a year to be with family and friends. And then, the last holidays, she went there back. And I'm like, what am I doing? I never even asked Juli, because her nickname is Juli. I said, I never asked her to be able to come to the podcast and talk about Colombia. Who better to talk about a country that's someone who is from there, love the country, and can literally talk like no one else about the beautiful country of Colombia. So thank you so much for joining us today. Really appreciate your time, Juli.
Oh, Nick and Wil, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. I listen to your podcast, and my favorite time is to listen about vacations and trips. So I'm very excited to share everything that I know about Colombia.
Oh my God, it's going to be a 2 hours episode, so buckle up. I'm kidding. We try to be fair and keep it to 30 minutes maximum. So let's jump in. So, Juli, the first question I have literally is like, why Colombia? I have a lot of, thought about it, but I want to ask you why someone living here in the United States would think one day, why not going to Colombia and experience this beautiful country?
Yes. So why Colombia? Colombia, I mean, I've traveled to other countries, and I've traveled to other countries in South America. I've traveled to countries in Europe and in North America. And I think the diversity that you find there, it's unmatchable. You find the ocean, you find the mountains, you find volcanoes, you have the Pacific coast, you have the Caribbean coast, and you have the Andes mountains. So to me, the diversity just makes it extremely attractive. So that's a reason why. The other reason I would say is very close to Miami, so it's a very quick destination. It's only Cartagena, and I'm gonna be talking about Cartagena because I highly recommend it. But Cartagena is only 2 hours from Miami, so that makes it make it a very quick trip to go there. And also the people. I mean, I might be biased, but I think the people are extremely welcoming. They really want to make you feel like part of the country. If you go during the holidays, they really want to welcome you to their house and their traditions. So that makes it for a very special trip.
Awesome. Well, I love that. I will don't be offended, but I will ask the first question that maybe Mr. or Mrs. like anybody would think first. Is it safe to go to Colombia? And I know it is, but I want to ask you because I love Narcos. and that's the thing that the first experience I had with Colombia is literally by watching on television everything that happened with with the cartels and stuff. So can you tell us how secure it is going to Colombia these days?
Yes, I think the security has improved from the Pablo Escobar years, and that's why the tourism has increased dramatically. I think it has increased after COVID dramatically, and I think right now Colombia, and you can actually fact check me on ChatGPT, but I think is number 3 destinations in South America. So the security has improved a lot. Um, a lot of the bad things happen outside of the tourist areas. And actually they have tried to secure a lot of the touristic areas, because tourism revenue has become a very good source of revenue for the country. So they want to make sure that tourist people keep coming, and that they feel secure whenever they're there. Like any other place, like any other big cities, even in the US, unfortunately, you have to be very careful where you go, who you're hanging with. Don't go in the dark sides of the streets because, of course, something bad could happen. So you have to be very mindful and careful about those type of normal things. But I would say it's very safe in the touristic areas, and people that are living there out of tourism, they really want to keep it safe. So I would feel, of course, whenever I go, I feel like I'm a local because I'm from there. But I've taken many American friends, European friends, and they also feel very safe whenever they go there because they know where to go, and they know that they have to be just careful around things and do not talk to strangers, of course, and do not do stupid things.
Yeah, do not accept candies from strangers. It's the same rule everywhere in the
I
world.
mean, yes.
But I can attest the same thing. Being owning a travel agencies, we receive report all the time about where to not send guests anymore or clients anymore. And Colombia is definitely green. It means that there is absolutely no problem. But like every destinations, like you mentioned, just talk to your travel agent or people and make sure that you stay in those safe areas. If you take a car, rent a car and try to go around all the country, well, you risk to end up in places that you shouldn't go. But if you stay in the places that are really touristic, I don't foresee any additional issue that you may have in any other places. So definitely good to know. So you mentioned Cartagena. I know everybody know, Medellin, Bogota, and Cartagena. So why Cartagena is the place that I know, talking to you a few times about it, you mentioned Cartagena all the time. So why? What can we do over there? And what is the 3, 4 things that to not miss when you go to Colombia and Cartagena in particular?
Yes. So, and I think I told you this. I think if you are planning your next trip to Colombia, I think the number one place that I would visit will be the first one, and because I do think that Colombia is a country that you should come back more than once. But if you go for the first time, Cartagena is just an amazing city because it has a lot of influence from the colonialism. So all the streets are brick streets, and they used to have a wall city. So you see that there was a fort there before. So they built a touristic city inside of that fort. So a lot of the best hotels are inside of that wall city. So it's pretty cool, and to just walk around the wall city and kind of walk in history, and at the same time just enjoy all the culture that a country has to offer for you. I That's the main thing that is very attractive about the city, is that is in a wall city, and I would highly suggest that you stay inside the city. Of course, there's hotels outside of the wall city, but it's just pretty neat to just stay in that historical venue. It used to be a slave port, like a very important port in South America. So in there you can just walk around, and they can tell you a lot of the things that happened whenever they had slaves, and it has a lot of rich history around it. uh, More than that, of the things that you can do, they have islands around the city. So what a lot of people do is that they go to the Rosary Islands by boat, and the water is just the most amazing water you could ever see. It has all different colors, and it's just amazing. They even have parts where they have the plankton, like in Puerto Rico. So you can go and kind of, you can even go at night and kind of see the plankton lighting up. You can actually stay overnight in those islands, and just being there is just extremely relaxing. And the most important thing about Colombia is that it's very affordable. So you might be paying a five-star hotel for something you would find a five-star hotel for like $200 or $250, and getting treated like a king by paying just I don't know, like not even a quarter of the price that you will spend in other countries. So that is the most amazing thing because you can actually really enjoy your vacation and you can really feel like you're being treated like a king without really breaking the bank. So yeah, so that's the thing. So you stay in the wall city, you go around all the historical places. There's a lot of restaurants. The food is just amazing. And then they have nightlife, they have day life, and then even in the day, you can go to the islands. You can fish in the islands, or you can just do water sports in the islands, or you just can go on a boat and just explore the beauty that the islands have to offer to you. They have hotels in the islands that have built recently that are like five-star hotels that are beautiful, and they have different water sports in there that you can do kayaking, is it water skiing, and all sorts of things that you can do while you're in the water. Uh, that's pretty much it.
That's awesome. Sounds like a lot. I had this vision of Nick in a royal robe with one of those like long cigarette holders and with a feast table being treated like a king at the hotel. Is that in part of the concierge or how does he get that?
Yeah. Yes. I mean, well, I remember I went with my friends, and we stayed at a very nice hotel in the walled city, and it was their first time going to Colombia. And I remember the service over there, people really they really they they don't get the tips that they get in the US, but they really want to make sure that yeah, that they provide you with the best service so you can come back. And I remember we were at this hotel where the pool was in the top floor, and the servers will come to you and be like, what do you need? Do you need a drink? Do you want a snack? What can I bring to you? And my friends, because in the US, you're like chasing them, please come to me. And on top of that, they want the tip. And here they come to you. And then they were like, oh my God, like this guy. And they, of course, they started tipping him and feeling like, and the guy is like, no, no, no. I just want to make sure that you guys are comfortable, that you guys are okay. So that's the type of service that you would get. Like you are at the pool and they come to you, what do you need? How can I help you? Are you all okay? And all of that. And I think it's just amazing because it's 2 hours away from Miami. So and Miami has become so expensive that just have and 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 just having a getaway that has a different history, has a different infrastructure, has a different culture is kind of a great getaway from the US. So
I totally love it, and it's true. I never thought about it. It's 2 hours away from South Florida. So for people living in Florida or in Atlanta, in the east side of US, it's really like not that far away. So it makes total sense to take a quick flight and go there. What is would you say a good you know age category to go to Cartagena for vacation? Because you mentioned there is a nightlife as well, and there is, so I assume it's for all age category. But would you say that there is more influenced by some kind of specific categories of age?
I say families and also young adults and also I because the cruises actually stop there. So and I've talked to a lot of people who are retired that also go to Cartagena and really like the history around it and they really want to explore a different country with a different history. So I would say to your point all age categories. I forgot to mention that in the wall city, you have horses that actually take you around the wall city, like just like in New York City, but different, of course. And you can actually explore it, and it's just a very cool city to really visit.
I
Yeah, at
will.
least
I
once in your
guess we have
lifetime.
something else to add
You will
in
not.
our to go list.
Yeah, no kidding. I'd love to see you on a horse riding around the wall city with your spurs.
Well, well,
That
my feet will touch the
yeah,
ground.
I know. You'll walk the horse instead of the horse walking you. Yeah.
Okay, hey, I want to ask you. Normally, we'll ask, but I will ask. What about the food? You mentioned food. I want to know what can we expect as people coming out of from America. What kind of food can we expect in Colombia?
Sure. And I think I mentioned to you is one of the more diverse countries that you could go to. So depends on where you're going, you will get a different type of food. So if you're going to Cartagena, you would expect food being completely different than if you were going to the coffee region where I'm from. So in Cartagena, you would get like the main food. You can get everything because I mean, to be honest with you, Colombia and even South America has become so Americanized that you can find anything if you wanted to. But the main dishes, for example, for Cartagena, there's one arepa, and you probably have heard of what an arepa is. And sometimes they put the egg inside of the arepa and they fry it. And then you eat the fried arepa with the egg inside. And that is I like it. And it's pretty delicious. And I think everyone should try it. The other main thing is they actually slow cook a beef in this sauce that is, I don't know how to say it in English, but it's like cane sugar. So it's like beef, like shredded beef in a sense with
How do you say
a
that in
brace of
Spanish?
sugar, pretty much. And
Costa Negra.
it's called posta negra. And it's only from Cartagena, and it's pretty delicious, but it's sweet and it's steak, so it's good. And then the other two other main dishes is just the fried fish. So they actually fried a big fish and they serve it to you, and they have on the side a coconut rice, and the
That
coconut
sounds
rice
tasty.
is my favorite.
Yeah,
So
nice. And what do you wash it down with? What's the drink?
yes. Yeah, what's the drink? So in Colombia, the popular drink that a lot of people have is called aguardiente. I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but it's made out of course, sugarcane,
Oh,
but
okay.
it's made out
There we
of
go.
anise.
Yeah.
So like sambuca. But so get ready for the World Cup in the US. And if you go to a Colombian game, because you're going to have a lot of aguardiente. They drink that in like in boots. I don't know if you've seen like the boots that they are able to bring to those games. They drink out of that. And that's like a very traditional drink. But you can find anything. I mean, they make cocktails out of rum. They make whatever you can find. And whatever you can think, and it's your favorite drink, I'm sure they're able
Well,
to make
it's
that for you.
yeah, I really want to try all of it. So that's a good problem to have. I
Yes,
really need to have it.
yes,
And I
yes,
said in recent like episode in Wanderlust
yes,
Wednesday that we have there's more and more vendors in the river cruising area who are sailing in Colombia for a week on a river cruise, and that's actually what it's very high on my to go list, and it's gonna happen if not this year, next year, but it's definitely gonna happen before the end of next year. And that's I heard from client that is absolutely outstanding. So, but I believe they live out of Medellin. But yeah. So, can you tell us a little bit more, not about the river cruise specifically, but can you tell us a little bit more about other area to consider other than Cartagena? Because I know you come from the coffee land, like you said, but maybe you want to say something about the capital, Bogota,
yes,
or Medellin, or whatever.
yes. So to move on into my region, and that's the second region that I would highly recommend. I just have to say that Cartagena is extremely hot. So in Colombia, because is the tropics, we don't have seasons. So if you're high in the mountain, you will have a different weather than if you're low in the mountain. So Cartagena is on the coast, so it's always going to be hot. And as you climb up the mountain, your weather is going to be different. Bogota is as high as Denver, or even high. I think it's like Vail or one of those cities in Colorado. So Bogota is extremely high, which means it is cold throughout the year. There's no warm season for Bogota. It's always going to be cold. The coffee region, where I'm from, is actually in between the coast. It's actually high up, but it's not as high as Bogota. So the weather there is usually like you wake up in the 68 and then it gets hotter, and hot will mean 85.
Yeah.
So in my opinion, is the perfect weather. And I never thought about it until I moved to Florida. And then I realized that we do have seasons and we do have very, very hot. summers, and I didn't have that. So if you want a more like a better weather destination, I would pick the coffee region or Medellin. Medellin has better weather than Cartagena. Cartagena is hot and humid throughout the year, and this old infrastructure could make it even hotter. So that's why a lot of people go to the islands to take a break from the hotter wall city and to just make sure that they're in the water and they're more refreshed. So the coffee region, why do I like the coffee region? So I think it's an amazing destination. You don't have the beaches, you don't have the ocean, but you have mountains. So if you like greenery, if you like biodiversity, I would pick the coffee region. I think Colombia is known for the diversity in birds. I think you can look it up, but I actually met a doctor the other day who was telling me that he was going to Colombia because of the birds that there are there and the diversity of them that you couldn't find anywhere else. I mean, he goes around South America, but Colombia was one of the countries. So if you want biodiversity, go to the coffee region. There's a lot of mountains. It's extremely green. The green is green. It's not green, palm trees green. It is green, vividly green. And that has like a relaxing, I love the beach and I love that I live right next to the beach. But I love the mountains because it gives me, and I'll send you the pictures, it gives me that peaceful feeling of just being in like a never endless like view of greenery that it just brings calmness to my life. So I love that about that. And there's a lot of things to do. So if you like adventure, you can go horseback riding. And there's like the Cocora Valley I think it was the valley that inspired the movie Encanto, the Disney movie Encanto, because it has the wax palm trees. So in there is just beautiful. Only those palm trees are grown in that valley. And it's kind of in the middle of it's you see the mountain, the middle Andes mountain in there, and there you can do horseback riding, you can do hiking, you can go to the river, you see the waterfalls. It's just pretty amazing. I did a glamping there with my family, and it was just beautiful. The other thing is you can tour like an hacienda where they actually grow the coffee, and you can just try like real good coffee while you're there, how they mix it with different fruits and how the coffee can start tasting like blueberries at the same time. So that's pretty cool and amazing. What else? The food is then, of course, also different. There's no fish. They have trout that actually is from the river, and you can have trout. So that's kind of the only fish that you can get. But other than that, they actually like, and I don't know if you guys have tried it, but is this main dish that has beans, rice, steak, egg. It's called bandeja paisa, and it's very well known in that region. I like it. It's one of my favorites. I know it's not for everyone, but it's something that, of course,
Yeah,
if
my
you're there,
stomach's
you just
rumbling
have to
already.
try
And
Yeah, that sounds good. And what is the name? Because you keep
Yes.
saying like the coffee, like
regions.
region. But so is there a
Coffee
specific
region.
city that we should
Yes.
look for when people want to actually experience that area?
Yeah, so there's 3 cities that it makes the triangle of the coffee region, meaning that those 3 cities is where the coffee is grown. Is Pereira is one, and that's where I was born. Manizales is another one, and then the other one is Armenia. And there's 2 international airports, the one in Pereira and the one in Manizales, and they used to have direct flights, but they don't have that anymore. So sorry. Yeah. But it's pretty, if you fly into Bogota, it's pretty affordable to buy an $80 flight into those cities. And the good thing is, because people are like, yeah, but I'm traveling, it's too much. It's only a 30-minute flight. So it is very easy. Is from Miami to Bogota is usually 3 hours, and then a 30-minute flight to the city. that you want to go in the coffee region. Um, it's funny. It is only a 30-minute drive, a flight, but if you wanted to drive, it's 7 or 8
Wow. Yeah.
hours because you're going up the mountain.
That's like Costa Rica.
So
It sounds very
is
close
is
by, but it
is,
takes
is
forever to go from one place to another. That's amazing. So I love the fact that we learn already
yeah.
about Bogota, the capital, which is very high up there. I had no idea, so it means very cold most of the time. You have Cartagena, which is the city to absolutely go to at the beach, high temperature, beautiful historical, touristic. And then we have the triangle of cities, of the coffee cities, like I call them, where you can actually, I mean, experience the real Colombia, I would assume. So that would be pretty good. The last thing I want to ask, and then
Yes.
of course we'll go ahead. It's about Medellin. Is there something to see there, or is just the narcos there?
No, Medellin is a beautiful city. It is one of the most beautiful cities that the country has. And not only that, it has a lot of other cities around Medellin that are beautiful, equally as beautiful. And a lot of people actually prefer to go to Medellin over Cartagena. Because they do have a direct flight. They don't have to stop in Bogota. They have a direct flight from Miami to Medellin, and it's just beautiful. It has like, for example, during the holidays, the lighting is like nothing you've ever seen.
Mm.
They light up the full city like it's Christmas for the entire city. It is crazy. People travel domestically to only see the lightings that they do in Medellin. So Medellin is beautiful. I think of course the bad news are always the ones that sell and not the great news. So that's why Narcos was so great. But the truth is that there's other amazing things that you're able to see there that
And
are
so,
not only necessarily
where is
related
that
to
located in the country, Medellin, compared to Bogota, your place, and Cartagena?
in the middle. So Bogota is in the middle, Pereira is in the middle, Manizales is in the middle, and Medellin is in the middle. Medellin is like 4 hours by car from Pereira, and by flight is 20 minutes. Um, and so is everything is very close, and people will tell you even so we all have different accents across the whole region. So you meet someone from Cartagena and you might be listening to that person speak English and you'll be like, "What? Like I thought Colombians spoke like Juli." No, because we all have different accents. So so Medellin and my city, we actually have very similar accents
This
because we're
is
so
so
close
cool,
by.
Will. I mean, I'm sure that our audience also love this because I learned so much. Because I know, the basic things about Colombia. I personally never been yet, but I love to hear from a local, someone who actually know a lot about the country, and it makes me really want to experience that deeper. I heard from a couple of people a lot of the things that you already said. So really, affordable, close by, an ability to experience historical places, not like majority of other places that we can possibly go within 2 hours flying from Miami. So I really, really love it. Will, anything that you want to ask as well?
Yeah, like I'm excited. I think obviously the enthusiasm and love for Colombia came through in your voice, Juliana, which is fantastic. I'm just thinking about the food and having a legit Colombian Supremo coffee, to enjoy it and like that because I do love my coffee. One of the things I guess just to wrap up, if there's one fun fact about Colombia that Colombians know really well, but people outside of Colombia might not know as
Hmm.
well, what would that fun fact be or fun experience?
And I would say going during the holidays because of all the traditions that we have. I know that Colombia is a destination where because the weather is the same throughout the year, so you can go at any point during the year. It doesn't like people would ask me when is the best time to go to Colombia. I would say anytime. Anytime that you find a cheap ticket, go to Colombia, make the trip. I'll help you build the itinerary kind of thing. Um, but
Is it because of, like, the Christmas markets or
uh,
just how people decorate or
but it's
Yeah.
because of the how they light up the cities, and it's because of how welcoming people are. So a lot of the times holidays are very centered around families, which is fantastic. But over there is not only families, which are very core and center, but it's also about if you're someone from another place, they really want to welcome you and being part of the festivities. So that is something that uh, you don't find in other
So it sounds like
places, and is
Colombians
pretty
would be on
unique
Santa's
about the
nice
country.
list every year for the holidays. Love it.
I
Yeah.
love that. I love that.
I actually, maybe you can add this, but I forgot about one thing else because we didn't talk about it, but I heard it and it's going to be my next trip within the country. And we didn't talk about the Pacific side of Colombia. So we have the Pacific as well. And over there in during September, they have tried to get better with the infrastructure and all of that. And they have
Oh,
the blue whale sightseeing. So my sister actually made the trip this past September where she and it's in the forest, it's in the middle of forest, but also you have the Pacific beach. And she went with a couple of friends and their kids, and it's a family trip, but you could also do it solo if you want to, or just with your friends. But they stayed in a hotel and they actually go around the river and then take you out of the ocean, and then you're able to see like she
oh,
told me I
wow.
saw 50 whales like right next to me. So that is the one trip that I really wanna get to make with my family.
See, there's a fun
to make
fact.
sure
Blue
that I get to
whales.
see
I
them.
wouldn't have made
Yeah.
that correlation. So that's cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yes.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
winners, we hope that you
Yes.
loved hearing from Juliana and the reason why you should visit Colombia. I know I'm enthralled about it. I was always intrigued, but now it's just brought to life even more. So thank you so much, Juliana, for sharing that. Again, the passion came through. I think we'll be booking the flights sooner than later now, especially since it's so easy to get to from Miami. That's always great. But so thank you very much and appreciate you coming on the show. That'll wrap up this episode, Wanderlusters. So please be sure to subscribe, share, and follow Two for the Win on your favorite platform. And be sure to check out our YouTube channel where Juliana is going to share a number of beautiful pictures you won't want to miss. And thanks again to Nick Menard and Dream Vacations for sponsoring today's episode. So there you have it, folks. We'll see you next Wednesday. Be well.
Bye, winners.